thing. Now, if you will step on this picture of your Jesus with your heels, they will let you go free. But if you don't, it'll cut your head off.
One day you died for me, and I'm willing to die for you.
Why, you stupid little fool!
The year is 1938, and a fear of communism, the greatest threat to capitalism, is spreading throughout the American government. The House Committee of Un-American Activities is created to investigate all those suspected of having communist ties. Led by Chairman Martin Dies, they first investigate suspected communists in theater before then moving to pro-Nazi organizations. They also wrote the Yellow Report, a paper advocating for the internment of Japanese Americans, which they supported throughout World War II. It wasn't until 1945, though, when the HUAC, despite several members having connections to white supremacist organizations and the KKK, became a standing committee, that their power forced a panic-stricken grasp on Hollywood. Adolph Menjo, Leo McCarey, Jack Warner, Edward Robinson, and Elia Kazan betray Hollywood.
Elia Kazan is a traitor.
They give out names of communist sympathizers and people with communist ties to the HUAC, which are thirsty for commie fear mongering. They compiled a list of 43 witnesses to appear in court and testify that communists controlled the Screenwriters Guild. 10 of these witnesses refused to answer the HUAC's questions and subsequently became the infamous Unfriendly 10, aka the Hollywood 10. They were now part of the Hollywood Blacklist, which grew longer and longer. In 1950, Red Channels was published, a book listing the names of 151 supposed communist sympathizers. It became a separate blacklist. Communism was America's boogeyman, and the HUAC pointed finger after finger, causing career after career to collapse. Artists like Charlie Chaplin, Paul Robeson, and Orson Welles were accused of being communist and suffered greatly because of it. And the truth was, many of these artists were communist sympathizers. Many artists then, like many artists now, criticized America and its capitalist views. Charlie Chaplin famously criticizes America industrialism in modern times and urged people to fight both fascism and industrial capitalism in The Great Dictator.
Fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason. A world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness.
In Citizen Kane, Orson Welles criticizes the controlling nature of America's wealthy.
I'll let you in on another little secret, Mr. Thatcher. I think I'm the man to do it, you see. I have money and property. If I don't look after the interests of the underprivileged, maybe somebody else will.
After being blacklisted, director Herbert Biberman and the Mine Mill Workers Union barely put enough money to make Salt of the Earth, a film about the real-life New Mexico miners' strike where mostly Hispanic workers striked against the Empire Zinc Company for its discriminatory pay. Newspapers immediately gave it extreme negative press, causing anti-communist extremists to fire shots at the set among other issues. Production was difficult, but editing the film was almost impossible, all because the movie advocated for worker rights and equal pay. It seemed to criticize America was to be a communist.
Sisters and brothers, Esperanza, thank you. You were right. Together, we can push everything up with us as we go.
Then I knew we had won something they could never take away. Something I could leave my children. And they, the salt of the earth, would inherit it.
In 1957, artists like Jules Dassin, John Henry Falk, Alfred Hitchcock, and Otto Preminger defied and fought against the Blacklist. Falk specifically sued Aware Incorporated, a private firm that blacklisted individuals, and won. Falk's success, among many others, helped destroy the blacklist, but still only 10% of those blacklisted were able to become successful again. Anger for what the HUAC did to the film industry ran rampant, and would show in the movies of the 60s and 70s.
Fellas, I don't recognize the right of this committee to ask me these kind of questions. And furthermore, you can all go fuck yourselves.
Today, artists struggle for similar things. Actors like Melissa Barrera was fired from Scream 7 after calling out the ongoing Palestinian genocide. Actors like Rose McGowan and Julia Ormond found it difficult to find work after reporting Harvey Weinstein for sexually abusing women in the film industry. Many American artists find their careers faltering after calling out evils in the system and human rights violations, especially if they don't align with America's beliefs. Which is why it's important for artists today, like artists in the past, to fight against government and studio censorship, to continue making movies that criticize America and stand up for what's right, for the hopes of a better world.